And there we are again. Last night I stayed in a pretty small village, somewhere along the road, and there, on my map, there wasn't anything where I would be able to stay. So I just thought, okay, I'll just go there and see if there's a church, and if there's a church, there's a pastor. And you know, churches, it's like against everything they believe to send you away. So if you come knocking on their door, it's like a 99% chance of a place to stay. Not necessarily inside, but I wasn't looking necessarily for inside. I'm usually just looking for a place to pitch a tent, or well, something like where I'm staying now. Anyway, when I arrived there, I found the pastor's house, and he invited me in. I thought that'd be all good. He was surprised though, because apparently he never had bikers asking stuff like that before, and that surprised me because there's hundreds coming through the town every year. Anyway, there were 3 kids staying there, and this is you know, this is all part of the whole story. There were 3 kids having dinner there because they pranked the school together with 11 other kids. So they were 14 or 15. I'm not really sure. Anyway, because of it's the last week of their school, they pranked the school. So they put a few plastic cups of water in front of the school door, and they moved some desks. And anyway, they were in the school in the middle of the night. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. The pastor, I don't know, he apparently in small societies, the pastor is like the person you go to for stuff like that. Anyway, he called the police, and he said there was a $2,500 bounty for anyone, for all the people who were involved. So what happened was that all the kids came running to the pastor's house and confess, and he made them do all kinds of work, you know, just for his house. And there was another pastor there too. I'm not gonna say their names because of privacy reasons, but they were both called father, and everyone called them father, and they wanted me to call them father. So, you know, I'm like atheist to the bone, and anyway, he invited me for dinner. I had a great, you know, this is all. I'm really thankful that they took care of me, because they did. They let me stay in their house, and they gave me food, and they gave me breakfast, and the next day this morning I was on my way again, and I'm really thankful for that. That's not my point yet. My point is that there's 2 pastors, right? They live in this gigantic house. They have 4 cars. They have 3 TVs. They have a housekeeper. And Kentucky is like the single poorest state in America. So I don't know where they got the money from, and halfway through the night, one of the pastors told me that God provided them with everything they needed. Yeah, God gave you that Chrysler. That's bullshit. You know, that's just. And God didn't give you a 64-inch TV. That's ridiculous. God didn't do that. The people probably did that. The people who wanted money to give to the church, and it ends up with them, or at least that's what I think. Anyway, that's what I thought was weird. You know, they were living the good life, and apparently it is up to them to punish the children. I mean, there was like no evidence of the separation between state and church, and that was weird, you know. That was just weird, and the way, I mean, they were so close-minded. I talked sometime with them about faith and stuff, and they were all about God. Seriously, if I mean, they just get horny of talking about God. I mean, dude, chill. And they were saying all these things about the Islam, that they were cruel and monkeys and barbaric and I don't know what. That if you don't, that the Quran says that if you don't do what Allah wants you to do, that they're gonna cut off your head. And I don't know. It was weird. It was seriously weird. I mean, they were so. And Republicans, oh my God. You know, they told me in the beginning, we're not supposed to have like an opinion of all that stuff, but as soon as the whole all these things about Obama started on TV, they started talking crap about him, and I don't know what, but just a weird. I don't know. It didn't. You know, in my eyes, if you're gonna be a servant of God, you're gonna do that without owning too much. You're gonna be humble. And oh man, it was just weird. You don't need 4 cars as a priest, especially if you live like next to the school. And they weren't really asking stuff either. You know, I had to call them father, and before I came into the house, I need to take a shower because I was dirty. You know, I can get that you don't want your furniture to be stinky and sweaty and stuff, but I wasn't that dirty. And I don't mind doing stuff in the house, but they weren't asking. You know, I had to do the dishes afterwards, and I don't know. It was just I'm not used to being ordered around like that or something. Especially not by some humble servant of God. I'm probably forgetting a ton of things that happened over there, but I think I'm done ranting now. I'm just gonna eat my dinner and sleep in about an hour, because then the sun is down and it's dark. And alright, good night.